Kalangala district, an archipelago of 64 habitable islands interspersed with lush vegetation, is a perfect escape for a holiday. On any sultry afternoon when the lake is calm, the blue water deflects the sun's great glare amidst the lap of the waves. According to the 2014 national census, Kalangala has one of the smallest populations of 53,406 persons against the national headcount of 40 million. Sexual abuse is a dark underbelly of this island. As a result, cases of defilement, rape, prostitution, and incest have stained the conscience of this community. Police authorities on the island say at least 4 defilement cases are recorded weekly. In November 2017 Health Status and Associated Factors report by the Uganda Bureau of Statistics documented that Kalangala, Bundibujo, and Ibuvuma have the highest percentages of adolescents that have ever given birth. That is 1 in every 4. By 2017, the report showed Kalangala alone was home to some 2,473 adolescent mothers. Also, as a result of the unbridled debauchery of the fishing community, Kalangala has one of the highest HIV and AIDS prevalence rates in the country at 18%. According to numerous accounts, Bernhard Glaser, or Bery as is fondly known, first visited Kalangala as a tourist between 2005 and 2006 and was fascinated by its breathtaking beauty. He then decided to stay much longer than he had anticipated in this locale. After consultations with district authorities, in 2007, Bery was authorized to establish a psychosocial humanitarian center in the Drab Mwena landing site in Kalangala Town Council. According to multiple accounts, the idea was to rehabilitate victims of child exploitation. The center later morphed into a shelter, which Bery shared with the girls, usually between 15 and 30 at various intervals. Nando Mogoya, the Kalangala Police Community Liaison Officer, told NTV that over the years, the shelter, or Bery's place, as it later came to be known, turned despair into hope.
And if it is proved that he was doing contrary to what we are saying it was good, then it became bad.
Willie Nkumbi, the district social welfare officer, says whereas Bery always ensured that he received lawful custody for the girls from either the court or local authorities, the shelter operated illegally.
But he would get referrals from police, more especially, that I would also agree to, because sometimes you find that these are children that are being looked after Bery and they have nowhere to go. And you are stuck with them. So temporarily, even my office would accept that referral and until we get where we put the child.
But in March 2019, Bery was arrested and later charged before the Masaka High Court on April 2nd with 27 counts of aggravated trafficking of children and defilement. He pleaded not guilty. Earlier in February, police raided his home, ransacked the place in search for exhibits, took away some of the girls and chased away others, according to numerous people who witnessed the episode. Bery was not home at the time. He was arrested later when he presented himself to police. On Wednesday this week, the case came up at the Masaka High Court for hearing of his bail application. Bery's lawyers, Caleb Alaka, Evans Ocheng, and Lester Kaganzi, had argued that the accused requires proper medical attention for his life-threatening permanent illnesses, diabetes, colon cancer, and skin cancer. However, the presiding judge, Winfred Nabisinde, after weighing arguments by both the prosecution and defense, ruled that Bery be transferred from Masaka Central Prison, Murchison Bay Prison in Luzira. The judge argued that with comparatively better health services, he could be easily transported to Mulago Hospital for specialized treatment when necessitated. The prosecution had told court earlier in May that they were willing to move to trial. However, the defense said the accused couldn't take plea on grounds of infirmity. The next hearing of the matter was pushed to August 8th. In the court of public opinion, Bery has been convicted as a pedophile, but to many inhabitants of this shabby hamlet, it is strange that Bery could prey on these destitute girls he sheltered, fed, clothed, and educated. The allegations against the 71-year-old German national first emerged 5 years ago when he was arrested in December 2013 and later charged for defilement in 2014, but the case collapsed after the DPP withdrew the file due to lack of cogent evidence. Some of the girls accusing Bery today defended him when he was briefly arrested in 2013 and gave him a hero's welcome upon release. Former CID spokesperson Vincent Sekate told the NTV in April that the previous case that had collapsed was just reopened after new witnesses emerged.
And when we got a similar complaint, the same witnesses that were supposed to be testifying in the other case, they had come up to raise another alarm. So there was no choice. We had to retrieve the file of 2013 and it was reinstated.
It started as a goodwill mission in this house, but the lurid elements in the story has turned it into a perfect scandalous folder, one that has been ricocheting around Kalangala for quite some time. As of now, the case is in court, but going by the numerous accounts in the area, it seems there's more than meets the eye. According to numerous accounts, Bery's problems started in 2017 when he invited over Asia Namusoke, who was doing similar outreach work in Kalangala with the prospects of a partnership. Namusoke, who describes herself as a social worker and an advocate of girl child rights, is accused of plotting the downfall of Bery to take over his organization, something she denies.
And I went to Bery's house, well knowing that something was happening. I made a decision to go into this house, having received information from other people and having observed on my very first visit.
There are reports that Bery and Namusoke fell out over accountability issues. Bery ran his organization largely through donations from well-wishers and donors in America and Europe. But Namusoke says it was some of the donors who tipped her about Bery's sneaky behavior towards the girls, which forced her to act to rescue them.
I needed to understand why he was refusing to pay school fees for certain girls, despite the fact that sponsors were giving him money. I needed to get all those details. Like I was telling you, I was working so closely with him. I remember several times he would raise concerns about certain girls. I want to chase away these girls. I'm like, but you have powers of Anthony. This is your daughter. You picked her from the street and you're now chasing her out of the house. Where is she going? But he will still go ahead and chase the girls. So I would always be on his side. I would always tell him, you're right to chase her away. But allow me to speak to her as well. And many of the girls will tell the truth. That yesterday night he told me to do this, I refused. This is why he's chasing me out.
Asked why she would partner with Bery, who was faced with allegations such as molesting and inserting birth control implants in girls as young as 9 years, this was her response.
It was all shocking. The first time he told me that he wanted to work with me, actually, I asked him several questions. Why me? He had a board that had even the LC5 chairman, and you would wonder why he was actually looking at me. But, of course, I work with different people, different partners. And when you look at the work that I do on social media, you can imagine that I have money.
Yet, in a documentary filmed in 2017 to raise awareness about their work, Bery and Namusoke spoke glowingly about each other's work. Bery, in the documentary, describes Namusoke as a wonderful person and as his best friend.
Then right now my best friend is Madame Asia from Pina, Uganda, and she's a wonderful person.
Apparently, Bery takes care of 43 girls, but there are over 7,000 survivors of sexual abuse in Kalangala fishing communities that need support and help.
Ziada Namiro, who worked as Bery's AD between 2009 and 2015, says Namusoke's claims and allegations of abusing the girls are all fabricated.
Ekidufu abantu abasinga bakimanyi naye basirika ye baliyo temubalabye ye baliyo naye basidise tebasobola ekisooka kya bonna batya okubasiba bagamba mwaba bagamba muno tuli baziba misango abamu tebeesobola nga bo to stand in front of you, to stand in front of the judges.
Before his arrest in March, Namiro says Bery had confided in her that they had fallen out with Namusoke.
Padde buli awo mu 3 digit awo baba wayo obukadde naye omugamba nti abo explainingire n'abiteekamu entondo.
The relationship between Bery and Namusoke further deteriorated in August last year after Namusoke attended an AIDS conference in Netherlands and later Belgium with some of the girls from Bery's place. During the trips, the girls shared harrowing accounts about growing up in Kalangala's punishing environment. Their stories captivated the audiences. Money trickled in, and upon return, the girls were looking at starting another life in general, not returning to Bery's. 22-year-old Winnie Nansamba, one of Bery's accusers, claims she was sold into marriage at the age of 11 by her paternal uncle to a fisherman who relocated her from Zimbabwe to one of the Kalangala Islands. She claims she later fled to a police post and was subsequently placed into Bery's custody. Nansamba claims on arrival, Bery personally examined her for sexually transmitted diseases and later inserted cleansing tablets into her private parts until one thing led to another.
So I had to share his room. I thought at first I was going to sleep on a mattress down, but he told me to sleep with him on the bed. I slept and I kept awake because I knew he would call me, give me my medication. I've gotten problem, but during the middle of the night, I was sleeping, but I started hearing something was not right. He started pressing my breasts, kissing my lips. He told me, don't make noise for me. It was a rough night for me, and from then I started like keeping a distance, but he warned me. He said, if you do not do what I want, you won't have a life.
Nansamba claims Bery started abusing her when she was in primary 5. She says that she preferred to stay silent so as to attain an education up to university. She later tracked down her biological mother, whom she stayed with briefly, but later went back to Bery's place. However, she did not open up to her mother about anything.
Yes, I had seen her, she was my mother, but I didn't trust her. You know, I didn't trust anyone.
Yeah, the first time to be arrested, we were with Anita, Winnie, all girls were there. No one came in and said that Bery used me. At that moment, now this time I don't know why, because Asia is there and now they are saying that he used them.
Some girls who lived at Bery at the time as Nansamba, however, dispute her claims. Angela Nakalanzi says when Nansamba was brought into the house, they were warned to stay away from her for a while after she was diagnosed with numerous sexually transmitted diseases, and it was Namiro, the house help, who treated her, not Bery.
Oyo Ziada ne Bery bigwi ne bamuleta nkwa bamuleta nkolaki ndaba nengoye yazeta mu kaveera ka green we bamuleta waliwo omusirikale bali bamuyita afande Bery kati n'agamba omwana ono mujjewa mu bufumbo naye omwana ono we mujje mu bufumbo saagadde anyigiriza nnyo kuyisibwa mu mbeera embi kwe kumuleeta wano nga waliwo family tukole mbakole ki tubeere wamu babeere wamu n'abaana ki abalala. Big Winnie, Bery n'asooka n'amutwala e Kalangala ku ddwaliro. Bery we yamutwala e Kalangala ne bamukebera nga kituufu era adde akozesa ki bamukozesa. Bery n'amuleeta wano. Bery we yamuleeta n'agamba Ziada yali mukozi. Ne bamukwata ne bamunaaza bulungi nnyo eriyo yonna wansi ne bamuteekayo waliwo ekintu kye bayita douche. Ne bakiteekayo wati yonna ne bamunaaza. Olwamala Bery n'amuwa empeke za Canada ze bateeka wansi. Zonna ne bakola ki ne bamukebera nga talina bulwadde ki bwonna era ne bamujjanjaba.
Nakalanzi says between 2009 and 2017, when she lived at Bery's place, neither saw nor heard anything about the alleged sexual abuse.
Ebyo ebintu byatandika 2013 kubanga ebintu byatandika manga Bery yakwata abaana ne batuteeka ku TV abantu batandika okukola ki okwogera.
Nakalanzi also disputes the claims that Bery inserted birth control implants in all the girls. She said the implants were optional and were only limited to girls in adolescence who were a magnet for boys in the neighborhood.
Nga Bery agamba 15 okola ki okudda waggulu ngera abaana beerondamu n'oyo Big Winnie yennyini yakukola ki yakateekamu akaweta nga beerondamu abaana oba nga toyagala tebakkaka woba oyagala bakuteeka mu ze bakanteekamu.
Viola Namantov, who lived at Bery's place for 7 years, confirms this version of the story.
Omanye bano abaana bano abowa Bery abo abaali abakulukuluko nga ffe kangambe nange ebiseera bino ali mukulukuluko twalina obuvubuka ddala yo Winnie yalina abavubuka bangi ng'olumu abayise eri bwati eri
Claim of inserting implants in girls even as young as 9 years was also refuted by medical officials both at Kalangala Health Center 4 and Maristops, which routinely conducts outreach family planning services on the islands. Dr. Milton Audo, The Director of Technical Services at Marriage Stops in Kampala said birth control implants, like other family planning services, are optional and limited to girls from the age of 15.
They feared that they could get pregnant. And once you are pregnant, they don't allow you there, they just chase you away. So they thought to be safe, they should come for family planning. And at that time, the 4 who were interviewed actually, all of them were between 15 and above, 15 and 18 and above. We didn't even see any who was 9 or 10 or 12 or even 13.
One girl, whose identity has been withheld, told NTV that Nansamba contacted her early this year to falsely testify against Bery and she would be rewarded.
When namusisinkana namusanga ne big win ngera bangamba simanya ngende nkole statement ku Bery nga ngamba ti Bery akwata basuka kumama twagala statement ez'amazima bakubye byawulire twali tulimbalimba nembabuuza amazima gatya ne bangamba ebyo mbugambe Bery akwata era yakwata biki ne mugamba nze sigenda genda kola ki kuwa statement.
3-year-old Anita Nambiru claims she was sexually abused by Bery the longest. She says that she's appalled that some people are contesting their stories, yet for long they suffered in silence.
Someone lamenting of things they don't know. There's one question I have in my head. Could someone has to go through a lot and then we actually cover something because someone is giving you something that I'm taking you to school? Someone's paying you education. Do you know what the hell I went through? They don't know. You know, the day that man defiled me, that day he took away my innocence. That is the day I'll never forget in my life. It is haunting me up to now.
Nambiru claims Bery started abusing her in her primary 7 vacation until sometime in her senior 3, when she started rebelling against him, hoping she could be expelled.
It was too much. When I withdrew, now I became the bad one. I went through tortures. This man can prey on your feelings emotionally, physically. Now I become the bad one. Even if you wake up one day and work, you cannot please him. The only way you can please him is by sleeping with him in the bedroom and serve yourself to him.
Like Nansamba, Nambiru says she ran away from Bery's home shortly after joining university, but kept visiting him from time to time, usually spending 3 days at the shelter of the man she claims abused her. Namatov, however, says Nambiru's claims are fabricated and she and Namsoke must be after something.
Balina sente nozaze bafafeze tutamanyi naye ezo sente zikyali mu ndowooza okusikingana ki emiguwa Bery azaagala Anita azaagala Aisha ayagalako ne buli omu ayagalako ezo sente.
In the 7 years Namatov spent at Bery's, she says she never saw Bery sharing his bedroom with any girl.
Kibangana yose kirabanganako sirabangayo nasolana na Bery kati Bery banna kati Bery oswena yodya naye naye wobola.
She also said that not all the girls lived at Bery's all the time. Nakalan's father recounted that when Bery was first arrested in 2013, detectives further rounded up all the girls, subjected them to tests to establish whether they were being molested, but the results were negative. She narrated that when Nambiru and Nansamba returned from Europe, they became problematic at the shelter until they left on their own.
Nga bigunya kan ko gamba abana lwaki mbeera wane wa Bery wane wa Bery muloza aliwo kalungi ki biki Bery namugamba okusinga okunyonyonera abaana bange kola ki genda ko biguini zanayagala dde okuvaano biki nga embeera ya biguini ekoze ki ekyukidde ddala biguini nga takyawulira biguini asiba Kalangala.
Stella Nabagala, who according to corroborated accounts was the first girl to live at Bery's shelter between 2006 and 2012, contests Nambiru's accounts.
Bwekibanga kituufu ngera akyamunyigiriza like nti omwana omuwala yenna bwe bakwabusinga sexually kirina ngeri gye kikuaffectinga. Togenda kungamba bunno ogenda kubeerewo omuntu akwabusinga sexually ogende kusomera osome bulungi. Anta yaperforminganga bulungi at school.
Nabagala left Bery's place after completing her vocational course to clear space for other incoming girls. But for the years she lived there, she said they shared everything with Anita.
Anita tubaddenga fenna tuzuukuka fenna ku makya tugenda okwebaka mu budde bwe bumu. Mama yamunonanga kiro nga twebase ffe nga tetuwulira. twali twemanyi nga bw'omanyi abaana abawala we mubeera ne tokisi zammwe.
The accounts differ sharply as they are conflicting, but given the sequence of events, residents and some officials talked to cast doubt on the allegation, which they said are being fueled by greed.
Abaana batugamba Bery takola ki? Bery tatukozesa. Ne tubagamba mwogera mazima nti mazima Bery takola ki? Bery tatukozesa naye obutakkaanya bwabwe bulimu ssente.
Kwata gye yali yakwatamu abaana teyali mbi nnyo era suubira nti yalimu obuzibu naye ishu eyo wejjamu kale wabeerawo oluusi ebibuuzo ebiyinza okwebuuzibwa omuntu atamutegeera bulungi.
Benon Trinomojun, the Kalangala District Crime Intelligence Officer, revealed that after Bery's acquittal in 2015, it was claimed later that he illegally owned a gun.
I went myself without notifying any person. I searched the house to the climax. There was nothing like a gun.
Time is of essence, and courts must manifestly be sent to dispense justice, as Bery has stage 4 cancer. The girls accusing Bery deserve justice as well. It all remains to be seen. FREDERIC MUSISI, NTV Panorama.